Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're trying out this Revlon Colorsilk. This is in the shade Light Ash Brown number 50. I've got some like face framing grays that I need to cover up. I'm trying to show you. I don't know if you guys can see them. I really notice them the most like when I'm out in the natural light and the sun kind of is shining and they just kind of look shimmery there. So I just needed to touch up the roots. The inside of this box, there was like, it looked like some of the color might have leaked, and it's like in the box and on the bottle, and it was kind of gross, and I was a little worried like maybe the color wasn't going to develop properly, but it was fine. So I guess don't be nervous if that happens to you. So you know the drill with the color, the developer, the gloves, all that kind of stuff. You get a conditioner. So you just want to put your color into the developer, give it a good shake. And I'm just working at the roots here, I'm focusing mostly on where I see those grays to start. So that's going to have the longest processing time. So I'm going around like my hairline and then working that through the rest of the root area. So you just want to get a really nice, good, thick coverage if you have the same kind of issue that I have where you're trying to cover some gray. So I'm got that all in the roots. I left that for 20 minutes. So now this is 20 minutes later. So I'm just checking in and you can see how that's developing nicely. So this is a light brown level 5 shade. So now that I'm seeing the color develop, I can see that it has a green base, which, you know, is typical for ash shades. I have so much coppery warmth on the ends of my hair, actually most of my hair, since the last time I lightened it. And I was a little worried about having such ashy tone on the roots and then it not blending well to the rest of the hair. So what I'm doing is I'm putting some product like mid-shaft and I'm just gently fanning that downwards. So when you watch my like ombre videos where I'm lightening, I go heavy on the ends and then I fan upwards. This is like the opposite technique. So I'm taking it heavy on the root, a little bit heavier mid-shaft, and then I'm using very, very little product on the ends. And the reason that I do this not only is because of the ombre look that I prefer, I have so much damage and over processing on the ends of my hair and I am not ready to cut it. So this is my way of making that work for me. So I'm using very little product on the end. I just want to try to give a uniform tone to my hair. You can see as I'm sectioning this out, like how very brassy it is. And, you know, I liked the color, but now that I'm retouching the roots, I just don't think that it's going to blend well. So I needed to get that product through the rest of the hair and just leave it on for a short time. I end up leaving it for 5 minutes. Because of the reason that I said with all that damage, I don't want to over process too much. So we're just working that through and pulling that very subtly to the ends of the hair, and then we'll let that process for 5 minutes and I will check in and show you the results. Okay, here are the results of this Revlon Colorsilk. This is in the number 50 light ash brown. It definitely came out exactly as the box says that it's going to, but in my case, I left the roots for 25 minutes. The directions say that you can leave it on up to 40 for stubborn grays. So far, my grays are not stubborn, so I don't want to over process more than I already do. So I left it for 25 minutes total, 20 minutes on the roots, and then I just pulled through to the ends for the last 5 minutes just so I had a nice like uniform blend to the shade. I didn't really want to darken much, which it did a little bit, but you know, it's going to fade out too. But I wanted to try to create like a uniform tone since I was redoing the roots, and I had so much, you know, of that like orangey kind of spicy color down here, pretty much like yellow, orange, coppery. So I didn't want to be too ashy on the roots and then just not have a nice blend. So I decided to pull it through, and because I've done so much processing on my hair, my ends are very damaged, which makes them very porous. and that makes the color grab. Now, when I say the color, it doesn't mean that the actual color is going to grab. What you're going to see is the base of the color that grabs to these damaged ends. So this particular shade has a green base. So this is like a true ash. When you think about a color wheel, your green is directly across from red. So that is going to neutralize red tones, auburn tones. So if I had left this too long on my ends, I would have like green, like army green ends. So I'm really grateful that I didn't go longer than 5 minutes, because I think this is a really nice color, really subtle transition from, you know, darker to a little bit lighter. But you can see the tones there are all uniform, which is what I was going for. So I think this is going to fade out nicely. I'm really happy with the level that it came out. The condition of my hair feels great. It has a really nice conditioner included in the box. This Revlon Colorsilk, I've been using this for years. This has always been a go-to for me. It's the cheapest box of hair dye that you can find at the drugstore. This costs you $3 or $4, no joke. And I only use one box. Now, I do have long hair, but I have thin hair, so I don't need an additional box. Most people would probably need a second box if they have a longer length to their hair, but I just can't believe how cheap it is for how well it actually works. They have great colors. Their bases to the shade are always what they say they're going to be. So if it's a neutral shade, you're going to have that neutral like brown base. If it says that it's medium reddish brown, then you're going to see that red base. The golden colors are going to have that orangey gold base to them. So this saying that it's ash is a true ash because it's a green base. Now, something that might have a blue or a violet could be considered ash as well, but that's going to neutralize more of your yellow and orangey tones versus red. So, I mean, you just have to get familiar with the color wheel. I always recommend, if you are unsure about a base on a color, to not go with it and go to Sally's, and the colors at Sally's actually tell you what the base is. So that can always help you decide what your results are going to be. But that's what I'm here for when it comes to box shades. I really like to express the bases that I find in these shades to help you guys out when you're doing your own hair at home and you just want to run to the drugstore quick. So very pleased with this. And like I said, I've used this brand a lot and I've never been disappointed. So let me know if you've tried it. What do you think? This is actually really close to my natural color. So I kind of feel like I should. I don't know. I match my youngest daughter right now. Like, we're almost the exact same color, and I'm sort of like excited about that. So thank you so much for watching. I always appreciate the support, and please revisit.